what is it that is different about Bokashi? The thing that is magic in this is a specific type of microbe, and they're called effective microbes, just because they're effective, I guess. And there's 3 different types. One is lactic acid, which is essentially what we get in yogurt. The other are yeasts, which are fungi. And the third is photosynthetic bacteria. And those are kind of the magic in this, because they conduct an incomplete type of photosynthesis. And they're able to break down some of the kinds of things that you find in anaerobic conditions, like hydrogen sulfide, that really stinky gas that you sometimes get. And it actually can split water atoms, making oxygen, gaseous oxygen available in the root zone. So we sort of have an anaerobic situation, and we want to have an anaerobic situation in this compost bucket. Most composting always wants it aerobic, right? But we're looking for anaerobic because we want to favor these particular microbes. So what we want to do is maintain anaerobic conditions as much as possible. And this system, I think, is a really good one.
The Bokashi cycle system comes with 2 buckets. You need 2 buckets to really do Bokashi, because once you've filled your first bucket, you have to let it sit for 10 to 14 days. During that time, you can be busy filling your second bucket. Both buckets come with lids that screw on and off.
Because it has this sealing type of bucket, this helps me maintain it, right?
You'll also get pressure plates. Actually, they're heavy dinner plates that you can use to press down in your compost to squeeze out the air and keep the air out as the material ferments. Too much liquid is a problem. The system includes a plastic shelf that lets excess liquid from your scraps filter down to the bottom of the bucket. You can use the tap to drain the liquid off.
Now that liquid can be used to clear your drains because it has microbes that'll be good for like a septic system or cleaning out the drains. It can also be diluted and used as a fertilizer.
The system comes with about 3 months' supply of the Bokashi bran and a container to put it in. The Bokashi bran looks like normal bran, but it has the microbes in it. I use a tablespoon to sprinkle the bran as I use it.
So the first thing that you're going to do when you get your Bokashi system is you're going to put a little thin layer of the Bokashi bran in it. You cannot use too much of this Bokashi bran, but you can use too little. So if you find things don't seem to be working, it means you should probably add a little more bran, okay? You put your scraps in, and that can include eggs, eggshells, bones. Put the whole chicken carcass in with all the bones. And it's disappearing as we speak. And then you add Bokashi. Now, if you've got something that's a lot of stuff, you want to add a little more Bokashi. You might use 2 tablespoons. But you just sort of sprinkle it, dust the top. And then I put that plate on top, and I kind of squish it down and then put the top on. Don't be opening it every 2 minutes, if possible. You know, collect your day's worth of scraps and then put them in, one day at a time. But don't be opening it every couple of hours. So once you've got your bucket full, you start your second bucket. You don't empty your first bucket until it's sat for about 10 days at least, preferably 2 weeks. It could sit for months and it would be fine, but it would be good to have it sit long enough for that pickling effect to occur. So if you find that you need more room, things that you could do is you could dump your stuff into just a green garbage bag and let it sit for an extra few days and carry on. It's just try and squeeze out sources of air. So a green garbage bag, dump it in and push it down and seal it up, and it will work. And it will hold it for a while. And then now you can sort of smell the smell. It's not perfume, but it's just not bad. Now here, you can see all the white molds that are growing. And this is just it's just creating a pickling effect here. To maintain anaerobic conditions, there's 3 things we don't want to add. Don't add liquids, like if you have a vat of soup, don't pour the whole vat of soup in. First strain it and pour the solids in and put, the others you can water the garden with it, it would probably be fine. don't put a whole vat of deep fryer fat in. It's fine if you have like if you've had salad and you've got some fat on your salad greens, that can go in. Fried food can go in, but don't put a whole vat of fat in. Okay, so save that out. And if you have food that's starting to get green or black mold, don't put that in, because that will compete with those microbes and they might win, and you don't want them to win. Okay, so that's basically the system.
That's it for collecting your scraps and fermenting them. Phase 2, burying your fermented waste, is going to be in the next video.